What's up, guys? This is Mike Loris with the grand finals of the Starseries Season 3 LAN event. It is going to be between Team Empire on the Radiant and Na'Vi on the Dire. Now, a little bit ago, I actually casted Game 1 of the grand finals, so I might want to do a little bit of digging on my channel to find that game. There was something wrong with the VOD on Owned, so I just thought I would do, or it wasn't like available to North America or something, so I thought I would just help out in that regard. And you can see the score is 1-1, although this is game 2. Na'Vi did come from the winner's bracket. I'm not sure if that is the reason why they have that win, or if it's because they beat Empire on their way to the grand finals. But either way, it is 1-1 with Empire taking the first played game in the actual grand finals. And these picks are coming a lot faster than I thought they would, but we do have the Wisp being banned out from Team Empire, Pudge banned out from Na'Vi. Really just two heroes that both teams really do enjoy using. And the Bounty Hunter pick a little bit peculiar. Usually you could you could keep Bounty Hunter in the pool for a little bit longer, but Team Empire simply do not want to go up against that because they're going to go for the exact same lineup that I casted last game with the Templar Assassin, Undying, as well as Clinks, and Bounty Hunter is a great counter to both the Clinks and to some degree the Templar Assassin as well. Now Team Empire, I said a lot last game that they were going to run an aggressive tri-lane with the Templar Assassin mid, Clinks on the bottom lane solo, and Undying, and then XX onto that top lane. And you can see Na'Vi, they've already done their homework, because the pick that Team Empire did, at least last game versus GDB, right after the fourth pick, was that Bane Elemental, so that is no longer going to be an option for them. Empire, on the other hand, their bans are mostly tailored to the jungle of Na'Vi, getting rid of those heroes that Puppey could play, or Puppey would want to play. Na'Vi, they have picked up the Darkseer, Batrider, and CK. So they do have that long lane hero. Darkseer versus Clinks is going to be a little bit of a difficult lane for Darkseer, but he should be fine. Batrider probably going to go mid. CK probably going to go top. CK could clash with the aggressive tri-lane from Team Empire, and if they do, we will see an absolute bloodbath in the early stage of the game. So that should be exciting for everyone. So Empire, the last game I cast, they ultimately didn't end up going for that aggressive tri-lane because there was a Weaver on the top lane. They didn't have any stuns. That was kind of a weakness in their lineup last time. Let's see how they're actually going to mitigate it, if they're going to mitigate it at all. Disruptor was a pick in their last game, although that was, I say last game, I'm talking about Empire versus GDB game 2. So that's the game I'm talking about, because that was the last game I casted just a little bit ago. They did pick up a Disruptor, mostly I feel against the Weaver, get that Static Storm going, and is also a pretty good tool against the Tidehunter as well. In this game I don't think it's going to be that useful to pick up the Disruptor. They probably would want to go for a little bit more of a straightforward support hero as opposed to a team-oriented support hero. Shadow Shaman as well as the Nagasar are going to get banned out. We do see an instant pick of the Leshrac from Team Empire, so their lineup is looking like it's going to be heading towards an aggressive tri-lane option. Last game, Blow Your Brain did play the Undying, so that could be the potential farming role for the Team Empire squad. The real question is what they want to pick up for their last hero. Probably going to be, once again, a support-oriented hero because, well, Clinks, Undying, Templar Assassin, usually not played as support heroes. Leshrac played it as a support, and we're probably going to see another final support being picked up for the 5th slot of Team Empire. Now, I'm sure Na'Vi realized that this is going to be coming at them. They probably do know that Empire are going to run this tri-lane. The Clinks is one tell, the Undying is another tell. So Na'Vi, they're going to prepare their last two picks in order to counter off this potential tri-lane that is coming their way. The question is, how are they actually going to do this? CK is a great hero to have in a really early game battling kind of lane. A very tanky hero, does some pretty high damage. And although his mana pool isn't the greatest, you fight in bursts, so you could clarity or whatever between those fights, and they're going to go with the Keeper of the Light, a superb pick for Na'Vi. If they do lane him at the hard lane, or even if they lane him as a support with the CK, either way, that Illuminate will do a ton of damage to Team Empire, because when you do run a tri-lane, your heroes tend to clump up, just because there's not as much space. Instead of only one hero on the lane, you have 3, so the Illuminate is going to be that much more effective in, even if it doesn't hit anyone, it's going to be making people move out of the way, because if they see the cannon charging, they're not going to want to stand there. I don't know why people would want to stand there. They're going to get the hell out of there. So you could use that to buy space, force people to separate out, and really break up the positioning of the enemy team. So that does give Na'Vi a lot of options, combined with the fact that Chakra Magic onto the CK Well, one Chakra Magic's pretty much maxed out. CK will have all of his mana in one Chakra Magic, which is pretty cool. So Na'Vi, they're looking pretty good to counter off this tri-lane. I gotta say, Batrider mid versus the Templar Assassin. Gotta keep my eye on that last game and the game before that. I'm pretty sure also the game before that. Missed a ton of kills solo when it was Batrider versus someone else mid. So Batrider could swoop in for kills really at any point. Once you get 4 or 5 stacks of that napalm, then it's all over if the enemy team is not aware of it. And Team Empire, they are going to go for the Disruptor, so a very similar lane team comp as we have seen in the previous Empire games. The only exception being Leshrac instead of Bane Elemental, but still very high damage heroes right there. And you also get a good disable. The Disruptor pick is going to be fairly useful against Na'Vi. Glimpse is a beautiful skill for countering off that Batrider net. And Na'Vi, they're going to go with the Earthshaker, so that is going to be their tri-lane. Keeper of the Light Earthshaker is a very, very good combo because, well, Keeper of the Light gives mana to everyone, and Earthshaker is a hero that is usually starved for mana. So I hope we see a 3v3 clash in any lane. And I don't know why this gold graph is open, but we are now into game number 2 between Na'Vi and Empire. So far it is tied up 1-1 with Na'Vi from the winners bracket giving them 1 point. And this is, we're getting closer to the end, guys. We're getting closer to the end. And then we could cast some Absolute Arena. And then we could, I don't know, maybe I have to get another ticket or something like that. Dendy's going to be playing the Batrider as all of Na'Vi head towards the top lane. Puppy's going to be playing the Earthshaker, Light of Heaven on the Darkseer, Havorce on the CK, and Arzard is going to be playing that Keeper of the Light support, Blow Your Brain once again on the Undying, Silent on the Disruptor. Silence Disruptor is pretty darn good, guys, just so you guys know. Go Black is going to be playing that Leshrac. Scandal is going to go mid as a TA, and Funnick, of course, is going to go bot as the Clink. So we are going to have a Bloodbath lane on this top side. And the Earthshaker, I want to talk about this pick just a little bit more. Is a hero who really has been stable in Dota for pretty much forever. He's the long-range stun, the fact that it acts as a stun in kind of 2 ways. You get the movement blocking, and you get the actual damage out of it. Just makes it such a great tool. As of late, Earthshaker has kind of fallen off. The fact that he's so mana reliant but doesn't really have that much mana really hurting him, and also his laning is extremely awkward. He's a melee hero, but he's support, so he's kind of like a Tidehunter, but doesn't even have that much lane control as the Tidehunter or Sand King or really any of those similar strength support heroes. But regardless, it is going to be a much needed stun for the Na'Vi side. They're going to have that combined with the CK, and then eventually the Batrider's lasso as well. They kind of need stuns against the Empire side. Will help them very much against the Clinks. Should they find themselves without True Sight, you could just burst them down in giant AoE that doesn't really care where the enemy is. It is going to be a tri-lane for the Empire side versus a dual lane, actually. We do have Puppy moving down towards the bot lane. He's going to help Light of Heaven versus Funnick, and or he's just gonna, well, we'll see. I don't know where Earthshaker is gonna head. Looks like he is gonna head towards the top lane. So we should have a try-v-try scenario. And in this situation, well, I actually am not sure who has the edge here. Undying, of course, with that decay is going to be hurting CK pretty decently as far as stealing his strength, so his health is going to be a little bit less. His damage is going to be a little bit less as well. Then again, Silent, although Disruptor is some pretty good range, some decent damage, stuff like that, doesn't really have as much of an impact as ours are on the Keeper of the Light, whose Cannon Blasts would do a lot more damage up front than the Thunderstrike. We could already see one flying out right now, and it clips Go Black for about 1/3 of his HP. That's a level 1 spell. Ridiculous damage. So Na'Vi, they definitely do have the ranged advantage. They have a long range on the Earthshaker, and that is a pretty much guaranteed setup for an Illuminate to hit if he charges it up beforehand. Empire, they don't really have as much range, but when they want to go for someone, they're going to go for someone. It's going to be a little bit difficult for them to set up a Split Earth, but Na'Vi, they're going to go straight in for Silence. Where is the block from Puppy? It is going to not be casted because of that Split Earth. The Fisher does fly out there now. Silence, one more swipe is going to do him in. Havorce draws first blood on the top lane. And that should be it for this beautiful play from Na'Vi. Good stun from the Leshrac, but unfortunately not enough. In the meantime, Dendy going to go toe-to-toe with Scandal. The Firefly is going to be enough to kill the TA. That's exactly what I was talking about during the draft. You got to keep your eyes on the frickin' Batrider, because if you look away for a second, he's going to get a kill. That is going to give him his urn. No, a bottle. Bottles for everyone. Havorce is even going to get a bottle. I don't think it's going to be specifically for him. It's going to be a team bottle. You know, share it around as a tri-lane. You're going to be nearby Yeah, you're gonna be close to your teammates, so you might as well share the love with the bottle. We do have Puppy positioned right near the double damage rune, going to take it. No, Silent going to deny it. Puppy denied that rune. He's going to be a little bit upset about that, but he should be fine regardless. Going to take some pretty heavy harassment from that disruptor. Now we have a kind of a cliff battle going on here, but yeah, Na'Vi already doing a little bit better with their tri-lane, and really their tri-lane has a lot more potential for getting kills. Undying doesn't have any crowd control, and although he is a pretty good AoE damager, like, you got to be careful where you stand because you might get hit by the decay, and if you give him too much strength, you're pretty much screwed. You're not going to get a kill. Empire, they definitely don't have any way to land a guaranteed split earth. They don't have a play stun like a Chaos Bolt or a Sven Hammer or anything like that. Na'Vi, they've even moved the Earthshaker around to the bottom lane. Horse is going to fly through. Huge damage from the Keeper of the Light. Such a great anti-push hero. In the meantime, the mid lane, we do have Scandal with 6 charges of tar, but no mana onto Dendi, so he cannot pop up that Firefly, cannot go in for that kill. And this Courier just going all over the friggin' place, bringing Light of Heaven some items, who has been creep cutting this entire time. Funnick, though, not going to be deterred at all. Those Searing Arrows is going to get him pretty much guaranteed last hits all day long versus these creeps. The problem for him is that he is getting lower and lower on HP, but he does still have a salve up his sleeve. He does, he's almost at the level 6 mark, so he should be able to survive once he gets that Death Pact, already with 2 Sage's Masks. So his mana regeneration is pretty darn high, combined with the fact that he will have mana translated into health with Death Pact. So yeah, both heroes on the bot lane are farming. I don't know if you could call this a win for either lane. It's pretty much a wash on the hard lane for the Dire, which really is pretty huge. Usually you don't expect your bottom lane to do that well, at least to tie the lane. That's something unexpected for Na'Vi that they're going to be working with moving on in the future. This mid lane, it is a death in favor of on Scandal in favor of Na'Vi, so the kill score does favor them just a little bit, although the TA is managing the lane, I feel, a little bit better than Dendi's. Scandal does have 10 magic stick charges, or he does have rune, and Dendi is going to be bottle crowing instead of using the runes to fill up his bottle. Just sometimes that's how the timing happens. So I think all eyes should be on this top lane with the. I guess I could keep TA selected, make sure that we don't get don't get too over our heads in this top lane. But Empire, they're looking for some kills onto this top lane. I don't know if they could actually find them, however. They could try to go for CK. CK has a lot of armor. He has a lot of potential. 2-second stun onto Blurry Brain. Fisher as well, plus the Illuminate. Blurry Brain gonna steal a good deal of health. Soul Rip as well. Divorce now stuck in the kinetic field. He should be fine. He's a very tanky hero. Puppy gonna move himself in. 1-second stun onto Silent, who is very weak. I don't know how the hell he got that low. Horse is gonna fly out, just barely miss Silent, and Divorce should live. Everyone should live from this. This is another engagement. Goes, well, I guess doesn't really go either way. Mana was spent. Salves were spent. But in the end, we don't have a kill anywhere, so we'll see. Puppy, what level is he? Level 2 on that Earthshaker, and now Blurry Brain is in a little bit of a poor position. Where's the stun from Pavorce? No, a 2-man decay. It's going to give Blurry Brain so much life. Still a 1-second stun. They still want to go for this, but now Pavorce stuck in a kinetic field. He's starting to drop lower and lower. He's a very tanky hero, but he's not that tanky. He's going to live at 2 HP, and Pavorce, is he going to get out of here alive? One more stray hit will do him in. Not going to happen with the split earth. 3-second stun on Blurry Brain as Pavorce barely living by the skin of his freaking teeth. You lucky man, you. Meantime, the mid lane, Dendi going toe-to-toe with Scandal. The Firefly is going to prevent Scandal from actually chasing down this Bat Rider. Dendi's going to survive and head down towards the bot lane, pick up a regeneration rune. What kind of luck is that? So we do have very even fights going on. So even, in fact, that no one is actually dying. Funnick is doing pretty well as far as mana goes. Ring Aquila plus 2 more Sage's Masks is going to go straight for that Orchid. It's going to be a very valuable tool against Na'Vi. Now that Light of Heaven is no longer creep cutting, does have a Soul Ring, should actually resume creep cutting because, well, Funnick actually, if he decides to turn around, he could just kill Light of Heaven. That's not exactly a good not a good situation for Light of Heaven to be in. But still, he's going to pressure Clinks back against the tower. But he does have the Death Pact, going to get a lot of health from that. He should be able to survive. Although we do see teleportation support coming in. Of all people, it is Havorst. And Funnick is definitely not going to expect CK to leave the top lane. That is the primary farmer for Na'Vi. and you do not see the primary farmer really ever leaving the lane this early, or at all really. Funnick is going to not spot out Havorus. They're both going to slip by each other. And now Havorus, is he going to try to go for a solo kill onto Klinks? It's going to be very difficult. But he does have Dust. He does have level 4. Is it going to happen? There's the Dust. Stun going to fly. Only 1 second stun. However, Funnick is going to try to make his way out of here. Havorus does have a Reality Rift up his sleeve. He's not going to cast it. And that is a lot of wasted time for Havorus, where he is not going to get anything. Funnick is going to be spotted out. Where's the Chaos Bolt? It is not going to happen. The Dust has worn off, and Funnick is going to be perfectly okay on this bottom lane. A lot of wasted time for him, although it could just be a general lane swap. We do see Puppey also heading down towards the bot lane, level 2 on the Earthshaker, so kind of needs that level 3 for a little more damage, a little more stun onto that Fissure. But now Funnick is not going to expect this happening. Puppey is around, but Light of Heaven taking a ton of damage. He does have a stout shield, and of course I miss the friggin' kill on the mid lane. Of course. What kind of game would it be if I don't pay attention to the Bat Rider? That's actually kind of surprising. The Go Black had support from Scandal, and he still dropped to Dendi. But we're going to have quite a party on this bot lane soon enough. Push onto this tower. 71 HP. It could be denied if Silent wants to start working on that. He doesn't know where Na'Vi is. Na'Vi, they're going to resign themselves to that tower. They are not going to be able to bring it down. 5 HP, and there it goes. First tower being killed this game, and it's a denial in favor of Empire. Na'Vi not going to be happy about that. But the tower is down, so that's going to restrict the space that Klinks has to farm just a little bit. But Klinks is getting the farm. He has the most gold per minute. Light of Heaven's actually right behind him. And Na'Vi, they're wandering pretty heavily. No one's really on the top lane making use of this gold. Keeper of the Light's getting the gold. But Keeper of the Light usually gets the gold regardless. Scandal now has a haste rune. He's going to get pulled right back into the range of the CK. 3 seconds down Scandal. Puppey with a perfect Fissure block as well. If he missed that, I would have been incredibly surprised. But Templar Assassin with the haste rune, you cannot simply... One does not simply kill the Templar Assassin, but looks like it is going to be enough. 5 stacks of tar plus a Firefly, which is not going to land actually. The Sonic Trap severely slowing the Bat Rider down, but Blurry Brain, is he going to support? No, he's going to circle around him. The Templar Assassin slips away yet again. Na'Vi with a 3 kill advantage. Blurry Brain going to try to go for Dendi, but I don't think this actually happens. Scandal actually turning around. The Flame Break going to push them both back. Lasso is up for Dendi. Going to bottle charge up and start stacking this tar. We do have teleportation support coming in. It's going to be Ars Art. Scandal, got to be careful. The Firefly is going to be up once again. Lasso is up again for Dendi, but the problem for him is that he cannot catch up to Scandal. Push back into the horses. No, the horses just barely miss, and Dendi now with the slow off of him. Firefly is up, and Scandal's going to be burned through right now. There's going to be a kill for Dendi, going to give him a killing spree. He has 3 of the 4 kills on the Na'Vi side. He's looking pretty good. He's going to go down to the bot lane, find himself a double damage rune, and he's going to continue the pressure on this mid lane. Scandal, unfortunately, not having the best game of his life. Magic Stick or not, he's not getting a lot of free time. Havorus has returned to this top lane where Silent and Blurry Brain have been camping out for pretty much the entire game so far. And Havorus is going to struggle a little bit against this dual lane, but it's really just him trying to get as much farm as he possibly can. Dendi moving down towards his bot lane, doesn't have that lasso on cooldown, so he probably wants to wait a little bit, build up enough gold, try to go for a quick Blink Dagger. If you get that, then the Empire team's got to watch out for a very long range initiation. Really, Na'Vi, they're all about their range. They have the Darkseer to help people get into position, the long range of the Earthshaker stun, and then of course the Keeper of the Light, level 7 on the Keeper of the Light, a lot of experience going into Ars Art's experience bars right now, and Puppey kind of suffering from that. You kind of want that level 6 on the Earthshaker. The Earthshaker doesn't really need gold, but he does need experience. He needs those level of Fissure. You want to get that Echo Slam, even if you are a level 6 Earthshaker and everyone else is like level 10. The Echo Slam still does some pretty good damage. You're not going to get a team wipe out of it, but it's still very entertaining nonetheless. So Puppey definitely needs to start getting some experience. He's going to start by getting a pull, but Silent, he knows about it. He's going to try his best to keep Puppey from pulling. The ward is up. It's going to spot out this pull, and Puppey is going to be denied a lot of experience here. Not even enough creep damage to kill off these Wiltkins, so nothing's actually going to come out of this. Puppey just denying a little bit of experience to Blurry Brain as well as Silent. But really, this Earthshaker's lack of experience is going to be a problem later on. Blurry Brain is going to try to bury himself. Where's the Fissure? Where's the Fissure, Puppey? Come on! Cast it. The Tombstone is starting to stack up, and Puppey finally gets the Fissure out, but it's a little bit too little too late. Light of Heaven is here as well to support, and here comes Dendi with a double damage rune. 4 seconds stun on Blurry Brain. The Lasso is available. The Undying has not a chance. He is going to drop, vacuuming back Scandal to Silent. Havorus going to run away with 50 HP. No, he's going to drop this time. Scandal and Silent doing the damage. The The Firefly is doing some serious damage to Silent, but Light of Heaven with one more right click from the Leshrac, trying to run away, not going to be enough. Here comes the Cannon Blast from Art. Are they going to burn through? Their Refraction is not going to be burned through, but now Scandal is very, very low on HP. Should be brought down from Arzart as well as Puppey. There it is. The Dust is going to give Dendy a mega kill. Somehow the Batrider has been taking all the last hits. The only one to survive from that engagement was Silent on the Disruptor, who's going to make his way out of there. And we do have Na'Vi taking an early 4-kill advantage, most of them on the Batrider, however. CK 1-1-2, not the worst score in the world on the CK, but Na'Vi would much rather have kills going onto the CK rather than the Batrider. But the Batrider with the kills is going to mean that he's going to get a faster Blink Dagger. Already at 1,300 gold. Not bad as far as his farm is considered. And Arzart, he's working on his mech. The farm time that Arzart got from Havorst leaving that top lane is going to be pretty huge for Na'Vi. Level A on the Keeper of the Light, so he does have maxed out Illuminate. He will have maxed out Chakra Magic very, very shortly as well, not to mention the Spirit Form, so you get the recall business going. And he will have a very quick mech. And the faster you get the mech, the more effective it is, because 250 health versus the 750 of Earthshaker, that is a lot of HP that's going into your health pool. And Puppey is now level 5, so he's got a couple of assists and doing some pretty good work as far as his experience bar is concerned. Still's looking for that level 6, so the sooner he gets that, the better the situation will be for his team, obviously. Havorst still in this top lane, not farming the best. You can see, as far as gold per minute goes, he's near the bottom. That little excursion on the bot lane that proved to be a failure, really not helping his case at all. And he isn't all that involved in the fights. He's been around in the fights, but really, I don't know, he got a 4-second stun on Blur Brain, which led to his death, but that's about it. And CK is a hero that really, really needs farm. The levels can carry you to some extent, but if you want to be a hard carry on the CK, you're going to need gold. If you play CK as a little bit more of a semi-carry role, yeah, you're fine. Slap him in a tri-lane. Don't worry about his gold income all that much, because Reality Rift and Chaos Bolt are pretty good spells. But if you only have him as the hard carry, you need him to get farmed. You need the drums, you need the BKBs, really anything that you want to get. Heart, even Satanic, I don't know, anything on the CK. Otherwise, he just won't do enough damage, Phantasm or not. Dendy on this mid lane, still holding strong, as most of the Na'Vi heroes have moved up to the top lane, possibly looking towards a push there. Art and Puppey going to get a Fissure onto Silent, just on the tip. Havorst looking for a Reality Rift, not going to happen. They're going to protect their ward as long as they can. Puppey there with the Fissure, but I don't think this ward is long for life. We do have Dendy with an invisibility rune. Gonna find Blur Brain and Silent. They do not have any true sight. Dendy gonna open up immediately onto Silent. The huge damage is starting to stack up, and there's the Flame Break for the kill onto Disruptor. Not even a reaction possible for anyone on the Empire side to teleport in or anything like that. In the meantime, in exchange for that, Leshrac has brought down the tower. The Edict is at level 3. Tower didn't really stand much of a chance, so Na'Vi starting to lose a couple towers. They're going to look to make that a little bit even. The forces are going to fly, annihilate the creep wave, and this tower is going to get a little bit of pressure, although the tombstone is up, and that's in a pretty good position. A little bit awkward for Na'Vi to actually dive that, as you see Darks here being picked off on the bot lane. My apologies for missing that one. But with the siege creep, they will be able to bring down this tower. We do have purple in the vicinity, that is the Undying, so we could try to get a deny perhaps, but I don't think that's actually going to happen. Na'Vi getting a little bit of gold from these zombies, but ultimately the tower is going to drop. Havorst with the last right click, much needed as well. Going to get himself a drum with that gold. I think that's enough for a drum, or like a little bit off. Oh, it is enough for a drum. Math. It's hard when you're casting, it's true. But the tower finally drops from Na'Vi, with the bottom tower being denied from them, whereas Empire have taken down successfully by their own hand the mid and bottom lane for Na'Vi. Let's take a look at how the experience and gold is doing. Slightly in favor of Na'Vi, with 4 kills in advantage. That tower deny is not working too great for them, but still the experience advantage is following suit with the kill advantage. So Na'Vi holding strong to their advantage in the early game. However, a big problem for them is the fact that Funnick, he has an Orchid, and now you gotta watch out. If you are Earthshaker, you are gonna be very, very scared. If you're Keeper of the Light, you're terrified. Darkseer and Batrider might be able to survive, and CK probably should be fine as well, but Funnick is going to be such a very deadly assassin right now with that very, very quick Orchid. Batrider has picked up his Blink Dagger as well, so not everything is bad for Na'Vi. They do still have the early game advantage, technically, although I feel Empire, their late game, is definitely a lot more substantial because the Clinks is actually getting farm. CK finally getting his drums 17 minutes into the game, and that's really not the best situation for the CK to be in. And Na'Vi, all of their late game eggs are in the CK basket, whereas Empire, they have a little bit onto the TA, a little bit onto Clinks. Even the Undying is just a fantastic late game hero just because of that damage amplification. Not going to do much damage straight up, and the Tombstone is going to get less and less relevant, but still, damage amplification is amplification, and it's all good, man. Funnick has returned to this bot lane, pushing that out as much as he can. Someone has got to deal with him. Funnick has yet to die, and Na'Vi, they seem to be okay with letting this Clinks farm. That could be a mistake. Clinks is probably going to go for a BKB next, shut down most of the damage from Na'Vi, pretty much all of the damage from Na'Vi. CK isn't going to be hitting hard enough to actually burn through a Clinks with a BKB up. Once that happens, Na'Vi, they got to be careful. They do need to start making use of this lasso, get a couple more ganks on the board, try to get a little more experience to the team. Earthshaker has finally hit that level 6 mark, and as I was saying before, level 6 is actually not doing too bad. Level 12 on the Clinks is the highest level on the map, I believe. Is it? Yep, Batrider and Clinks tied for level 1, for number 1 levels. But of course, moving into the late game, it's going to favor the Clinks a lot more than the Batrider in the early stage. And as far as short term, Batrider is going to make very good use of those levels. Flame Break is maxed out, so he's going to go for a little bit more burst. Scandal is going to find a Horse, and he does have an Illusion and a double damage rune and a Blink Dagger and Phase Boots. And Forrest is going to be caught out, I feel. No? No? We'll wait. Scandal doesn't know who's coming in to support. Not really confident in his ability to burst down the CK. Instead is going to be Blur Brain. Dendy's going to blink forward, going to get the lasso onto Blur Brain, who drops down everything before he dies, but he is going to die. The Horse is going to fly. Not necessary, because the Undying is already dead, and the Tombstone is going to drop as well. Who's going to get this last right click? Tombstone does give some pretty good gold, by the way. Maybe they just want to farm the zombies? Puppy's like, okay, enough of this. 130 gold for the Batrider, so Batrider's getting everything right now. Now has a Ghost Scepter, probably going to work towards something like a Force Staff so we could pull someone out. Empire now, there without the Undying for the 5 seconds. No Tombstone, no Flesh Golem. Undying has lost his helmet, which is kind of horrifying. And Na'Vi, they're all positioned on this mid lane. Light of Heaven, wow, with a very early pipe. That is an impressive pipe speed. 106 creep kills, I guess, kind of helping out. 1, 2, 4, not bad either. Na'Vi, they're pushing pretty aggressively. The mana is flowing from Arzart, who does have it maxed out. And wow, Havor's finding a solo kill versus the Disruptor. My apologies for missing these kills. I just don't really expect solo kills to happen. Because, first of all, what is Disruptor doing up here? I didn't even expect anyone to be up here. So yeah, missing a couple kills, but what kind of cast would it be if I didn't miss all the kills? Or all the, I guess that doesn't count. I missed Batrider kills, not CK kills. I usually am pretty good about getting those, I guess. But we do have Horse in a little bit of trouble. Go Black is looking to close the distance, get himself a split earth. 3 second stun. Horse wants to get a kill into Go Black. The Soul Rip will keep Go Black alive unless Horse gets another crit. Not going to be in time, however, because he's going to drop to the TA. All the rest of Na'Vi on the mid lane, wandering around as a group. Na'Vi, they're just trying to, I guess, buy time for Horse, but now Funnick going to find Light of Heaven, and if Light of Heaven stops at this creep camp, no, he's going to break the invisibility and let Light of Heaven know that he's there. A little bit of a mistake, I have to say, but, whatever. It's a little minor distinction, and Na'Vi unfortunately smoked right within the vision of that ward. Silent, maybe not looking. Definitely not looking, because here comes Dendy. He's going to pull Silent, not through the kinetic field, because you cannot do that, but the Flame Break plus the Firefly should be enough. Horse is going to fly, is going to clip the Disruptor on the back end, and he's going to drop. Scandal also taking some pretty heavy damage from Dendy, but he is not going to drop. Not enough damage coming out from the Firefly, not maxed out. Not enough tar stacks either. So Dendy's just going to be satisfied with that one Disruptor kill. Na'Vi getting picks with this 3-man hit squad. Na'Vi, they're looking pretty good in their team fights, actually. Something I didn't really consider. Well, I don't know. The Empire team fight is also pretty vicious, so both teams probably not willing to engage in a full-on team fight. The Static Storm is going to be absolutely huge. If you get that down before Puppy gets his ultimate up, then, well, it's just going to be trouble for Na'Vi. Also the Flesh Golem for that damage amplification, but Na'Vi, they do have Horses, they do have Echo Slam, they do have the Wall of Replica, which is starting to be leveled up. Level 2 already on that, and Darkseer is a pretty potent hero at this point. However, he's not actually doing all that much, I feel, besides farming. Navi's courier died somewhere. Not sure where. Shame on whoever did that. You're not supposed to kill the courier. You're supposed to take care of the courier. But 5-11 is the score right now. Slight gold advantage still in favor of Na'Vi. A little bit more experience advantage going their way. But Empire, they do have the right farm on the right hero. And that is the Clinks. And Clinks to make things happen all by himself, especially if he finds someone up in this jungle. He's going to run into Puppey perhaps. And that is exactly what's going to happen. Puppey is in a huge amount of danger. He does have a Ghost Scepter, so he's not going to die outright. And he does have support right nearby. Funnick is not willing to engage that, however. The risk is apparently not worth the reward. Once Funnick gets his BKB, he will definitely do stuff like that, because he is going to be pretty much invulnerable to all of Na'Vi. But for now, both teams are going to continue to farm. Batrider picking up a gem. Na'Vi wanting to get a little bit more map control, which is pretty much why they've been camping out 3-4 heroes on this mid lane. Because Empire they want to keep Empire in their base as much as they can, so that's the reasoning behind their positioning choices. However, Empire, they're still finding room to farm. Silence getting a couple of neutral kills right there. Go Black starting to level up as well. So even though Na'Vi technically do have an advantage, I don't know if they could sustain this advantage out. BKB is starting to come up with CK, which is exactly the kind of things that they need in order to get the to keep hold of the advantage. But Clinks is not the type of carry hero who's reliant on magic damage to really do the damage, such as OD or something like that. He has Searing Arrows, so if you have BKB up, whoopty friggin' do, Strafe and Searing Arrows are going to kill you regardless. It looks like Na'Vi, after pushing down that bot lane, they still have the mid lane to deal with, but they're going to go for Roshan. Don't believe that was actually spotted by the Empire side, so they might be blind to this. We don't have any movement going into this Roshan pit. Scandal in top lane wants to take down tier 1, is going to bring down tier 1. And Na'Vi slowly working on that Roshan. Looks like it is going to be an uncontested Roshan. Funnick, though, is going to demolish the tier 2 tower. So Na'Vi grabbing the Roshan, which is all well and good, but they're going to lose 1, if not 2 towers. They're only going to lose 1. CK now with an Aegis. Not sure if that was worth it for Na'Vi. They do have even towers now, however. Yes, 3 towers up. And the Roshan going the way of Na'Vi, I think they'll be okay with that. I think they will. Now Horse could be a little bit more aggressive. Just go in with little to no regard for his own life and really just burn all your mana before you die. Na'Vi, they do have the pipe, which is going to help them quite a bit versus the Disruptor as well as the Strack. But again, Clinks and TA, huge physical damage coming out from those two. Even the Meld having some synergy with the Clinks. They're going to go straight for the tier 2s. But can they actually do this? Look towards initiation from Dendi. Go Black going to land a split earth onto Horse, doing a little bit of damage. Dendi is going to look for a jump in. Who's it going to be? It has to be the Disruptor or the Leshrac, I feel. Anyone else should be perfectly fine. Dendi going to get into position. Who does he want to go for? He's going to not go for anyone. We'll wait. We'll wait. Na'Vi, slow and steady, wins the race. The siege creep is going to die, but 600 HP is left on the tier 2 tower. And well, it looks like Na'Vi, they're going to call it quits. Not willing to push that aggressively. They don't have the Firefly up for another 17 seconds, but they could still go for it, I feel. Although, no use taking risks. This is the grand finals, so... And they did lose already game number 1, so... Na'Vi going to play it a little bit more carefully. I do like that. However, they do have the Aegis on CK. It's going to have another 4 minutes of effective time before Roshan does reclaim it. And Funnick, is he going to go for Havorse right now? He's going to open up with a couple Searing Arrows. Not going to be enough to kill Havorse, however. Orchid doing about 100 damage of amplification. The Magic Stick charges doing a little bit to help mitigate that. And now we are back to farming. So I do think Empire will be okay with this farming. Na'Vi, they do have some pretty good bursts in their team fight, but I don't know, Empire, their counter team fight is just astounding with the Static Storm available to them. And Silent, again with the Quarterstaff, he did this last game. Let's just do it again. Let's do it again. Quarterstaff. It builds into... Well, he's not going to go for that. Pretty sure he's not going to go for Butterfly. He's going to go for none of this. Last time he went for a 4-staff, and I don't know. Maybe he's having trouble adjusting to the new 4-staff recipe, which I completely understand. I still think boots cost 500. They cost 450, guys, and I cannot get that into my head. I just can't. I guess that's a lot of gold that he kind of wasted. which is kind of bad for him. But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe he's going to get an Orchid. I doubt it, though. They already have one in Clinks. Here we go. Push round 2. Fight. Horse is going to fly. Creep Wave going to get demolished, and I don't think Empire wants to defend this. If they want to, they have to do it right now. Open up with the Tombstone. Then they have the Earthshaker to deal with, who, if they initiate on the Earthshaker, the Echo Slam is inevitably going to come out. This tower is slowly getting brought down. Look towards Dendy's initiation once again. The Wall of Epica is at level 2. Split Earth going to clear out the Creep Wave. Horse is going to fly, and the tower is going to drop now. Forced. No. Arzart with the last right click. And Na'Vi with the successful push. Empire not willing to defend this. And that probably is going to mean to Na'Vi that, hey, we could just go down to the bot lane and do the exact same thing. So that's exactly where they're going to head right now. Oh, you made these guys lost. They don't know where they're going now. Wilkins are not supposed to be there. And now they're dead. So that was a pretty efficient creeping right there. Na'Vi with that successful tier 2 push, uncontested. They're going to read that as, hey, these guys don't feel confident in defending their tier 2s. Let's keep going. Let's take more of their tier 2s. Because if they don't do anything about it, well, that's just awesome for us. More gold in our pockets. Earthshaker's going to be very happy about that. His rush is actually the Ghost Scepter. Usually if I'm playing Earthshaker and if I find myself with enough gold for a Ghost Scepter, I just save that and go for a Blink Dagger, which is kind of a necessary item for Earthshaker against Static Storm. But Scandal is leading the charge on this push in the mid lane. He's going to take the tier 2 tower of Na'Vi, and Na'Vi, they're not going to be satisfied with letting this fall. They're going to surge themselves in as quickly as they can. They're going to at least pressure Empire back. And they're going to clear out the creep wave. They want to keep on to their tier 2s, so they are going to head up north, where Orange has been pushing this Funnick on the Clinks. Fortification going to slow him down just a little bit, but the BKB is now up on the Clinks, so it's going to be very, very difficult to burn through that amount of HP because CK doesn't do all that much damage if you can't Reality Rift the enemy. Puppy is going to find Blow Your Brain. Is he trapped? No, he's not. Puppy is just bluffing. He's bluffing so hard right now. He does have a Ghost Scepter, and he did force out the Tombstone, so I guess the bluff was successful. Dendy wants to go into this. He's going to start stacking Tar and Blow Your Brain. I don't know if he could actually move in for this. He's going to get a Surge, possibly from Light of Heaven. They want to do this, vacuuming Blow Your Brain back. The Static Storm Kinetic Field, however, is going to do heavy, heavy damage to both of these heroes. The rest of these heroes are coming in. Horse has already popped the BKB. This could be awful. No, they're going to catch Blow Your Brain with the 2-second stun. Mech does pop off, but Blow Your Brain is going to drop. Horse is going to fly through, do a little bit of damage as well. Blow Your Brain is finally going to drop. Such an aggressive play. That chase lasted forever. The creep wave is still over here, guys. But they are going to be walled off by the backdoor protection, and now they're going to teleport down to the bot lane. So a successful pick onto the Undying, but using a lot of resources for that. Using a lot of time, using the 10-second BKB charge. Yes, it was the 10-second BKB charge. But I guess a kill is a kill, so they're going to be okay with that. And Havorce is starting to get his items up, so I was a little bit concerned in the early stage of the game that Havorce wouldn't be able to get enough gold to actually function within this game, but he's finding the gold somehow. He is now not in the bottom, he's just third at the gold per minute chart, so he's been last hitting decently. He's been active around the map, getting kills, assists, all that good jazz. So he is recovering pretty well, and Na'Vi still with a gold lead, still with an experience lead, although 1,000 or like 700 in the gold lead, a couple of thousand, a little bit less than 5,000 in the experience lead. This game is still very, very close. Funnick continuing to farm. BKB is up, probably going to head towards something like an MKB. Just do as much damage as he can in the duration of strafe. Once that happens, I don't know if Na'Vi could actually withstand that. Even Scandal now does have a BKB up. And Na'Vi are just so reliant on magical damage. Their scaling is a CK, who's great, but he's melee, so he has to stick onto his targets. The Force Staff should be coming up. Ha! Let's just show this one off. Force Staff. I see no Quarterstaff in that, Silent. Come on, you're wasting money here. Think of the children. CK is just gonna go full on tanky, so Na'Vi, I don't think they have an answer to these BKBs, except for waiting it out. They have a lot of durability on their team. Light of Heaven does have a pipe to help mitigate some of the damage, and CK is just going to go full bulk, most likely heading towards a Heart of Tarask. CK is going to be unable to really stand toe-to-toe with the enemies once they pop the BKBs. So Na'Vi, they're going to have to play a little bit of hit and run guerrilla tactic style if they actually want to play with those BKBs. Puppey has picked up his Blink Dagger now, so the Echo Slam will happen. Still a level 1 Echo Slam. Really needs it to be at that level 2 mark at the jump of 65 straight up and then 15 per unit. Not a bad increase at all. Lowering the cooldown even. The way some of these skills scale, man, it's kind of weird. The balancing job that is being done in Dota is absurd. Like this one, increase in mana cost, same cooldown. This one is just increased mana cost, lower cooldown. It's crazy how they can make these things work. But enough about that. Na'Vi, they want more towers. They're going to use the Keeper of the Lights Blast, plow through this wave, and they're going to go straight for the tier 2s. No reaction from Empire. They're going to let this one fall, it looks like, unless they teleport right now. They do have the fortification available to them, but I don't see any teleportations coming in, and at this point, might be a little bit too late. Horse is going to fly once again. Kaboom! And the tower goes down to the Bat Rider. Only one more tower for only one more tier 2 tower for the Empire team is up, and an instant smoke out from Na'Vi. They're going to go hunting. They're going to be going hunting unsuccessfully, however. Sentry Ward is available, but no creeps are there to spot them out. So Na'Vi are going to slip by that one more time, and Courier being sniped out once again. Funnick is just an assassin of Couriers. I'm assuming he got the Courier last time. But oh no, Go Black and Scandal, you do not want to be there, guys. Go Black is going to be initiated upon. Here's the lasso. Scandal popping off his 10-second BKB charge. Go Black is going to be shredded by the Darks here. Wonder what the Courier actually had. Can't find that out, can I? I wish I could click on this and it'll show me like a dead portrait. Like if I click on this guy, it's like a dead portrait. You can still see his items and everything. I wish I could do that with the Courier. I should, nah, I'm sure it'll happen eventually. But the Courier getting sniped off once again. A little bit more gold in the pocket of Team Empire, but you know what? They're gonna have to deal with another dual life onto Vorst, who still did not use his Aegis. I don't think the Aegis was used last time. Oh, Empire, they might not want to wait for this one, though. They might not be okay with giving the second Roshan up. Leshrac or no Leshrac, they're going to go in on this. No BKB charge on the TA. It might just be pressuring them back. Dendi with the Firefly active. The Reality Rift is not going to latch, but you know what is going to latch? That freaking lasso. Silent is going to be annihilated. Oh my god. Vorst now going to go straight for Blow Your Brain. Echo Slam only onto Blow Your Brain, but now we do have the BKB. Heroes are going to be popping their BKBs and running, in fact. They cannot stand and fight. I guess it doesn't matter how tanky your heroes are if they don't have any support. Dendi going to go toe-to-toe with Go Black. He's slow to a crawl. He's going to drop solo to the Leshrac, who has arrived into this fight. But now Leshrac is going to get Reality Rifted back. Puppey is out of mana, so no long-range stun. Blow Your Brain has arrived into this fight. Na'Vi might be a little bit in over their heads. Arzart is going to try to make his way out, as is Light of Heaven. In the meantime, CK has been killed, and a blink out from the Earthshaker will keep him alive from Funnick. 7-16. Huge buybacks all across the board. Funnick not going to find Puppey. I don't think so, at least. Funnick is searching. He wants kills. He does have the Orchid up and Strafe in 10. And, okay, so that looks like it's going to be it. Let's actually figure out who actually bought back there. We have 1, 2, 3 buybacks. Mostly on the Empire side, actually. But Empire, they're going to be okay with that because they're going to get a free Roshan. With the Bat Rider down, there's no way for Na'Vi to contest this. Roshan does drop. Age is picked up by Clinks. That is just going to be a huge trouble for them. Oh no, what the heck? Vorst, what are you doing there? There's a BKB. He's going to turn around and go straight for someone. Huge vacuum pulling. No, that was actually an Undying Clone actually onto the high ground. CK picking up the kill onto the Disruptor, but the Fisher is going to be a little bit of a deterrent. Blow Your Brain is going to get Reality Rifted back, and Vorst going to make a pit stop for that Tombstone. Light of Heaven with the Surge is going to get himself out of there. In the meantime, Puppey as well as Arzart going to chase down Go Black. They should be capable of killing off this Leshrac by themselves. Go Black going to drop the gem on the floor and kill it in his last final dying wish. Now Arzart and Puppey going to be in a little bit of an awkward position, but they do have Dendi, who is chasing down Blow Your Brain very, very aggressively. The Flesh Golem does time out. Puppey's going to get silenced by Clanks, take a little bit of damage, but instantly popping off the Ghost Scepter. Lasso onto Funnick. He is all alone, and BKB or no BKB, when all 5 heroes are wailing on you like that, you are not going to live for very long. He does have the Aegis, however, so he's going to live for a little bit longer. Blow Your Brain, 2-second stun on him. He's going to be brought down. Funnick is going to barely slip away with his life. Na'Vi rallying after that initial rough fight, going to give up the Roshan, but they are going to take a couple of heads along the way. Now they all got to teleport back in order to defend their towers, which are all being pushed, unfortunately for them, so they cannot actually take the last tier 2 tower. But 7-19 is the kill score, and the gold advantage, the experience advantage, is slowly going the way of Na'Vi, slowly but surely. And the BKBs, as I was toting them, is like pretty much the end all for Empire. Like, they pop the BKBs and then they fight. The problem is Na'Vi, they have a lot of AoE damage. It doesn't really care where the supports are or who they target, because Echo Slam is going to do a lot of damage regardless of where you cast it. And well, the Disruptor is not exactly a tanky hero, neither is Leshrac. So Na'Vi, I guess they could focus on just picking off the other Empire heroes and then leave Templar Assassin, leave Klings for last. And if they could bring them down as quickly as they have been doing it, then that is a pretty valid strategy. Just ignore the carries. Of course, it's a little bit finicky since you are going to be hit with a lot of damage during that time, but they have a lot of Ghost Scepters. They have a couple of Blink Daggers, 1, 2 Ghost Scepters, 3 Ghost Scepters, 4 Ghost Scepters. Ghost Scepters for everyone. So whoever Klings decides to go on, Ghost Scepter denies them, and then the heroes could just keep fighting, because Na'Vi, again, they're reliant on spells. They could keep fighting. Scandal is going to find Havorst. Funnick is going to silence him as well. BKB charge forced out from the CK. Flame Break is going to push Funnick away. Forced around in the corner, going to teleport out of here. No disruption for that, as Blurrbane does pop off the Flesh Golem. Does he have legs? His legs are gone. That's not right. That's undying, man. This is scary shit. But the Flesh Golem has been forced out, as Force does make his way out of there, going to be recalled right back into the fight. Na'Vi want to fight right now. They know the Flesh Golem is out. They know the BKBs. No, the BKBs aren't actually up. Force doesn't have his BKB. Dendy going to get caught. No, Force is actually going to sacrifice himself. There's this BKB pop from Scandal. Force taking a ton of damage, but he does get the ultimate off. Doesn't matter. He's going to drop towards Klings. Puppy with a huge Echo Slam onto Blurrbane, doing some pretty heavy damage there. The Static Storm has worn off. Blurrbane is going to drop Dendy in the middle of everything, laying fire down everywhere, but Na'Vi's cooldowns, they're all up. The Tombstone is still alive. They have to fall back right now. Puppy is getting swamped in zombies. He's going to try to fight his way out of there. It's not going to happen. Dendy is going to make his way out of there, as is Art using the boost of travel to get out of there, but Puppy is going to drop. And Na'Vi not taking a good fight at all. Dendy is also in a pretty rough position. Wants to get that cooldown of his Blink Dagger up. He's going to make it out of here, I feel. Blink deep into the trees. Teleport out of there. He doesn't have a teleportation scroll, so he might be in a little bit of trouble. Darkseer is actually not done. What the heck? Where did Darkseer Illusions? Darkseer died a while ago. He died over here. It had to be Illusions chasing. That was... Well, don't forget, Wall of Replica, if you run through it. The Illusions do hurt pretty bad. But Na'Vi definitely not taking the upper hand in that fight. The BKB was absolutely needed by CK. Empire, they had all their magic immunity, and they couldn't bring down the supporting cast of Empire quick enough. Empire and Force got nailed out in the Split Earth, Static Storm, all that jazz. Got his Phantasm off, but those Phantasm illusions crumbled in a second. He needs the BKB. He needs more health, really. Or they just need to get a better fighting situation. Na'Vi, they're going to push very aggressively on this mid lane. Dendy is not exactly what I would call a healthy hero at this point. He should probably go back to the base. And then Arzar could just recall him back in. That could work. But he's actually regenerating pretty quickly. He has Tranquil Boots, I guess, and lots of Arcanes. He's going to be fine. Not going to teleport back to the base or anything. But as we push the 40-minute mark, only 31 kills total in this game. The gold advantage starting to pull back in favor of Empire after that last good fight. If they could keep doing that, then it would just be amazing for them. Win the second game and then, you know, just take it one game further. In the best of 5, I believe, that this format is. Best of 5. 3 dots, best of 5. And keep in mind that the last fight was fought even when Empire did not have the Flesh Golem. Flesh Golem was used over here when trying to kill Havorst. And if that Flesh Golem was up, I'm pretty sure Arzart would have died. I'm pretty sure Dendy would have died. I'm pretty sure lots more of Na'Vi heroes would have died. They are not going to wait around for that to happen again. The BKBs are up on everyone. The Aegis is going to be up for Klinks, but it's going to time out very, very shortly. Got to keep Klinks in my selection right now, so we're going to see if he uses the Aegis or if he gets it reclaimed. Looks like the mid lane is being pushed pretty aggressively by the Empire side. Na'Vi, are they going to go back to defend this, or are they going to make a trade? I don't know if they have the pushing power equal to Klinks. They have creep clearing, as you can see, but do they have enough damage on the towers? They do not. Klinks is going to just go to town on the towers, forcing everyone to teleport back into their base. And it looks like they are going to successfully defend, but Funnick is going to have his Aegis taken from him right now. Actually caught that on camera. Cool. So Klink's no more Aegis. That was essentially a wasted Aegis, a little bit of gold, which is great, but you kind of need that. You kind of want to use that Aegis as a offensive tool, or at least a defensive tool, or some sort of tool. Surge onto Batrider. Wow, these guys, so aggressive. Dendi is going to find a latch onto Silent. Silent is going to die before he can drop his Static Storm. And that's going to be pretty huge. He doesn't have buyback. Silent is going to drop. Na'Vi, unfortunately, though, cannot push any of the lanes. This top lane is being pushed very aggressively for Team Empire. Mid lane is kind of the same way, and bot lane is simply too far away. So they cannot capitalize on that kill and actually push down anything. They're going to have to be forced back to their lanes, farm up the creeps, which is like, oh no, they're forcing me to farm, but still, they would much rather push, because their heroes, you could even tell, the Scandal's doing a lot of damage, Klink's with the freaking Daedalus up. Na'Vi, they're slowly running out of time in this game. Keeper of the Light is great. If you could land the Blinding Light onto the Klinks or something like that when the BKB's down, or the TA, that would be absolutely huge. But the problem is that by the time the BKBs are up for these heroes, everyone on your team is already dead. So, yeah, that's going to be a little bit of a problem for Na'Vi. They do have the Wall of Replica, which will do some pretty heavy damage in the favor of Na'Vi, but Empire, just with the hero comp that they have now, is a lot more better suited towards the late game, whereas Na'Vi a little bit more mid-game based team, and the mid-game is slowly disappearing. Hart is going to come up for Havorce, which is going to help him a little bit more if he gets caught out, but I don't know. If he gets caught out again without BKB, I think that's just like, it's a little bit careless from him. Na'Vi are going to play extremely safe. Puppey does still have one more level of that Echo Slam. So far, Na'Vi hasn't been fighting within the lanes. Most of the fights have been in the jungle, which means that the Echo Slam doesn't do all that much damage. At least in comparison, you don't get that extra bounce damage from creeps or whatever. They're just going to tend to all their lanes. It's going to create kind of like a Pong effect with the gold. You know, just sending the creep waves in, they all die, then you go back and tend your other creep wave, because that one just got pushed in. And eventually someone's going to have to break this cycle. Is it going to be with the next Roshan? Roshan is going to be up in another minute and a half. That could be what Na'Vi is waiting for. If they get that Aegis onto Havorce and with the Heart complete, then CK is going to be an absolute juggernaut as far as his health pool is concerned. Also do some pretty good damage. 579 crit, not too bad, especially with no real damage items being procured just yet. The Heart is flying out and it should be ready just in time for the Roshan, but a smoke from Na'Vi, this is what they want to do. They want to get a pick off. They want to, well, Light of Heaven just kind of blew that entire thing. Dendi is going to start plowing his way through the trees. They want to get a kill onto anyone they can find. They're not going to find anyone, however. Smoke pretty much wasted from Na'Vi, but they pressured back the Empire quite a bit. Look at the aggression coming out from Na'Vi. They're diving so far without their primary damage dealer, without their primary tank. This is just ballsy play from Na'Vi. They're pressuring back Empire so that they could take this Roshan, although Roshan's not going to be up for another minute, so perhaps a little bit mistimed by the Na'Vi side. They're going to have to wait for this Roshan, and by the time that happens, Empire will be able to make it over there. If the Static Storm lands, if the Tombstone manages to stay alive, then that fight will be absolutely huge for Empire to take. Even though the Wall of Replica is pretty darn good and the Echo Slam and tight quarters is also fairly devastating, when you do have the damage amplification, and Klinks and TA could just stand right on the outskirts of this Roshan pit and just go to town on all of the Na'Vi heroes. Roshan is going to respawn, take flight, because that's what Roshan does behind his background of broken textures. And now we play the waiting game. Na'Vi, they want to make Empire think that they're going to do Roshan. This is pretty much just a bait. The Sonic Trap is going to reveal the fact that Na'Vi are not in their Empire. They're all smoked up. And Na'Vi, they have no idea about this. Oh no, if they come from the north, that would be absolutely horrible. Ars Art is going to be the first one to be picked off. Go Black is going to spot them out. BKB being popped off. Les Shrek is going to lead the charge. Of course, instantly popping off his BKB. Static Storm does get dropped off with the kinetic field. Everyone is trapped within that. The first one to die is Puppey, not going to find his way out of there to get that Echo Slam off. Then he can pop off everything that he has. Firefly is everywhere. Blow Your Brain taking a lot of damage from Light of Heaven. He is going to drop down. Klinks has actually fallen relatively quickly in this game. Arzard is also going to make his way out of their force. Has survived with that Heart of Tarask. And the last one to die is going to be Scandal. Na'Vi, somehow, some way, getting the upper hand in that fight. With Puppey buying back, didn't even use that Echo Slam. Havorce with the very, very tanky Heart of Tarask. And that was perfect initiation from Empire. They came straight from the north. They caught out Ars Art in a poor position, but the mech, the Ghost Scepter, the Blinding Flash, and of course, I missed another kill from the Bat Rider, of course. I thought that fight was over. But Na'Vi somehow actually managing to rally. The Darkseer, I feel, was probably the biggest influence on that. The Wall of Replica was perfectly within Empire's way, so if they wanted to engage, and they clearly did want to engage, then they would be forced to walk through that several times even. And the damage from the Clinks, the damage from the TA when they get replicated, it's pretty substantial damage. Cheese is even on the floor. Arzart, you might want to pick that up. So Na'Vi taking a much better fight than I would actually think they would be able to. The BKBs don't exactly protect you from your own replica if you already make them. And the damage coming out from those are going to be pretty deadly. The Aegis has been picked up by CK, who just stood in the middle of everything. Static Storm or not, he already got the Phantasm off, which is absolutely huge for him. If you catch him without the Phantasm, that's a ton of damage. It's not coming out from the CK. That probably won't come out from the CK, because Static Storm lasts a pretty long time. Now, what is Havor's going to go for? Manta Style, perhaps? No, it's going to be Attack Speed. He's going to go for an AC. And I do like that choice. He's got to give his team as much physical damage as they can. And Darkseer plus Keeper are going to go for Shivas. The blast does stack, like the damage. So you could hit people several times with that. The Aura doesn't stack, but with two of them, I'm not going to say it's cost effective or anything. You typically only want one. But with two of them, they are going to guarantee that TA and Clinks both have that minus attack speed, which isn't a good investment of your gold, but that's what's going to happen because of that investment, so I guess that's the diminishing return. Now Na'Vi, they're going to push down the top lane. They want Raxes right now. They do have the Aegis on the back of that team fight. They do feel very confident, but then again, a lot of that team fight was reliant on a well-placed Wall of Replica. If they can get that again, that'll be absolutely huge for them. If not, well, then it'll just be a complete mess. They gotta isolate the Clinks, who now does have a Diffusal Blade, actually. I gotta be honest, I'm not sure why. I guess... well, they're gonna find Blow Your Brain. Boots of Travel teleporting in is going to be nobody because it's annihilated by Funnick. Puppy is going to get his haste rune purged off. Definitely not the intention of the Diffusal Blade, but it's gonna happen regardless. Funnick is going to take an Echo Slam. He's going to get locked down before he get his BKB charge off. Where did he go, actually? He's gonna make his way out with just under 200 HP. Arzart with the right clicks. Will it be enough? There's the Shiva's Guard, and it will barely be enough. Keeper of the Light, number 1 DPS. Clinks is down. He doesn't have gold for buyback. Scandal now caught within the tar, and a Flame Break will push him a little bit further away, actually. A little bit of a mistake from Dendy, but sometimes you can't actually line up everything correctly. Blow Your Brain as well as Scandal are going to make their way out of this, but with no Clinks for another minute, this is Na'Vi's chance to go and get some Raxes. Wow, huge pickup from Funnick. He's a little bit more over-aggressive. Didn't expect anyone from Na'Vi to actually be there. And the Purge did pretty well against Earthshaker, but still, Ghost Scepters. Ghost Scepters are everywhere from Na'Vi, and there's nothing that Clinks can do once you pop off that Ghost Scepter. Kinetic Field's going to fly, forced on the front lines, however, going to catch Go Black with a Reality Rift. No damage is going to come out from them, however. He's going to go straight for the tower. Dendy is going to lasso in Go Black right onto the low ground. There goes the Shiva's Guards. Go Black taking a huge amounts of damage from all that frost, and he's going to drop, trying to take Art down with him. Not going to happen. The Thunderstrike might do it. It's going to leave him alive with 15 HP. In the meantime, everyone is on Na'Vi's going to town. Go Black has bought back into this game. 4-second stun on him to open up, though. Huge damage coming out from Force crits. Light of Heaven even having 2 of those Ion Shells up, just blending all of Empire's heroes, and Na'Vi with Arzheart living at a sliver of HP, Puppy at very low HP as well. It doesn't matter, however, because the GG has been called, ladies and gentlemen. Na'Vi have taken game number 2. If they win the next game, that is going to be it, ladies and gentlemen. I did not realize that Na'Vi would be able to take this fight so handily. This fight, I'm actually gonna rewind that, and okay, we're gonna rewind that right now. Actually, we're gonna rewind that right now. Let's back up. Where was it? Was it this long ago? Roshan. The Roshan timer isn't there. Okay, we're gonna watch this fight again. I think I might have skipped the fight. No, here it is, here it is. Okay, we're gonna slow this down a little bit. Actually, we're gonna speed it up because we're still not there yet. Okay, here we go. Go Black pops up BKB. Arzar taking a huge amount of damage in Ghost Scepter. Illusions freaking everywhere. Yes, a perfect Wall of Replica. That's exactly what it was. Plus a vacuum. Funnick and Scandal Who are they focusing on? The Ghost Scepters. That was the problem. The Ghost Scepters, they cannot actually deal any DPS. Force instantly focusing down the Tombstone. Brought down in an instant. Blurbrain getting very weak as well. Where is the Clinks right now? He's sitting in the fire. Reality Rift 1 crit. Yeah. Those Ghost Scepters, man. Ghost Scepters won Na'Vi the game. And then it's just clean up at this point. Had to get another good look at that. Ghost Scepters are pretty hard to read. And we're just going to wait for this timer to run out. I don't know why I don't see a score screen. But anyway, guys, that's going to be Game 2 from the Grand Finals of the Star Series Season 3. And no score screen, I guess. I'll just show you this score screen. There you go. Score screen for you guys. If you enjoyed that commentary, please let me know what I could do better in the future. Like, comments, subscriptions, all that stuff. And if you do, I will give you a high five next time I see you. There are only a couple more games from this tournament, so thanks for watching, guys. GG.